Nestled in the foothills west of Yakima is the close-knit agricultural community of Titan. To people in Titan and Cowiche had to load up whatever they wanted to put on the railroad and go down the grade with a horse and wagon and their produce and go down the bottom to put on the railroad in Natchez, and then the Natchez train would take it back to Yakima. And this big long line of old 1920s, 30s cars, trucks in this case, and all the guys lined up. This is a convoy of trucks transferred from Lovelock, Nevada with their drivers to Cowiche, which is up at Camp 4, Yakima Titan Irrigation District. This is a shot of, how many of you been on the Heights? Do you know where the Natchez Heights is? Do you know where this road is? That's the road that runs past the headquarters where Yakima Titan Irrigation is now. This is what it used to look like with all the camps. Cowiche Kids bus, school bus. This is how you went to school. And if there were too many bodies, you sort of have to hang on to the back. You know, at school. Twice a day. These guys had to hitch these horses up, take you to school, come and get you, and take you home. And they all had their routes, just like the buses do now, where everybody had to get off at a different place. So it took quite a bit of the day to get you where you needed to go. This is the original Cowiche School. And it sits where Cowiche Grange Hall, it sat where Cowiche Grange Hall sits now. The old original Cowiche Stone School. This is after there were three wood frame buildings that were torn down and became the stone one. But this is still down there. It's where St. Peter's Church is now, without the additional building. This is what it used to look like. Now we're back to Titan. This is the old city well in Titan, hand pumped. They had two wells in Titan before Yakima Titan came in that they watered everything out of, including their drinking water, the water for the trees and crops, and the water for their animals. All came from those two wells. Wow. Because you couldn't count on the North Fork of the Cowiche Creek because it went dry in the middle of the summer. The first schoolhouse in Titan, it was put in the back corner of somebody's pasture. And they were one-room schoolhouses, literally. And everybody that went to school went in the same room. And they had a teacher who lived with one of the landowners. They boarded there and taught. And most of the school teachers that came out here were women. And they ended up marrying men in the community, although they could not get married while they were teaching school. This was the Titan State Bank back in 1900s, like 1912, 1918. How many of you know where Vicky's Cafe is in Titan? It started out as the Titan State Bank. And it was a brick building, just like pretty much like it is now, but it encompassed more area this way down the block. And they had their own stationery, they had their own deposit forms, their own receipts. And they lasted from 1912 until 1932. They bellied up in 1932 as a bank. Yes. Yes. People lost a lot of money when the bank closed. Not just in Titan, but everywhere. But that's what happened to it. So there's no longer the bank, It's still a cafe. This is the old movie theater building in Hyanton. Country Church, which is right on the corner, across from the park. And if you go in there, the reason the floor is sloped is because it used to be a theater. And they just left the sloped flooring. But this is one of the buildings from it. This is a shot, pencil shot, of the first house built in Hyanton by Frank and Martha Weddle. They were the first homesteaders out in the Hyanton area. This is Mr. and Mrs. Hatton, who built and owned the Hatton Hotel, which in Hyanton, the building is still there. It's on the opposite corner from Vicky's Cafe, that is now Johnny's. And it has a second story, and it had a second story when they built it, and they used to have dances upstairs on Saturday night. And this shows you a shot of how people used to have to do when they first came out here from the Midwest, horses, wagons, apple boxes, and they constructed the apple boxes themselves. They had hired guys to come out in the orchard and just stand there and put these boxes together. And they did this all day, all the time. A few million boxes. You can see an old car over here. Melba Strand. Do any of you know her? This is her brother. He was a prize fighter, and he signed this. He was quite professional. I remember hearing about his fights on the radio when I was a kid. And my dad used to think he was really quite good. Well, he was born and raised in Hyanton. Melba's brother. Aaron, who was the postmaster. All these little cubby holes, note the dog asleep under the table.